Hey everybody, and welcome to a new game on the channel. This is Lucifer Within Us. Probably want to turn down the music real quick. I know I'm a little late to the party on this when it came out earlier this week at the time of me recording this. And then a lot of people have been playing it. But it's a game by the same people that did another game I did on the channel, which is 6 Ages Ride Like the Wind, but it's an entirely different game. So if you've seen that and you're instantly like, oh no, I didn't like 6 Ages, give this one a chance. It's a little different. It's a detective game with some time travel elements, I think. I don't know much about it, so we're going in pretty blind. Let's go ahead and start up a new game. The Two Brothers case. 100 years without murder, 100 years without demonic possession. Then this. I'm Sister Ada, exorcist and investigator. This is my testament to the massacre at St. Walpurga's Abbey. It is truth. Do not believe the lies of my accusers. Okay, you already have accusers? St. Walpurga's
Sister
Abbey.
Ada, welcome.
Hello, Virgil.
I am Virgil, Chief Inquisitor at St. Walpurga's Abbey. We may be in need of your talents as an exorcist.
Okay, we are an exorcist.
You
Gotcha.
can survey the evidence yourself, but I think you will agree.
Agree to what?
Has there truly been a murder?
Is that what we're agreeing to? Do we need to agree that you need our services, or that there's been a murderer? Or both?
It seems so. A respected priestess, Mother Miriam, passed this morning under suspicious circumstances. A demon may be present. Here, even now, possessing someone.
A demon, you say?
What happened exactly?
Mother Miriam was only recently appointed as successor to Abbot Gregory. This morning, she came to the workshop to receive her coronet of office.
Something went wrong with the installation.
Yes, to put it mildly, the coronet oversurged, killing Mother Miriam. Brace yourself for the sight.
The coronet of whatever you said. So it's literally, and you said the installation, so it's literally a crown that gets installed on your head? Is that what you mean?
Then the workshop operators, Gideon and Reuben, are the prime suspects. They are brothers, right?
Yes, but it's highly out of character for Gideon or Reuben to kill someone. Even so, they were the only ones present when Mother Miriam died.
Daemons nurture our sinful desires into unthinkable actions, Virgil. One of the brothers has surely been seduced by a daemon, whichever it is. I will unmask his lies and cast out the daemon within him.
May Einsof's will be done. Amen.
Einsof. That's your deity of choice?
To exorcise a daemon, we must uncover 4 things.
I can't help but notice that Sof, I wonder if that's like a derivation of soft with a T, which is short for like software, and maybe Ein is AI or AI software. Do you worship like some kind of weird historical AI company? Is that how that works? To exorcise a demon, we must uncover 4 things.
First, the suspect. We must identify which sinner is possessed by a daemon. Second, the opportunity. When exactly was the murder committed? We can pinpoint the opportunity by analyzing each suspect's testimonies. Third, the means by which the murder has been committed. The means can be found among the physical evidence at the scene of the incident.
Alright, who did it, when they did it, how they did it.
Fourth, the motive
Why
of
they
the
did
murderer, which can be found in their inner world, their sanctum. The motive will tell us which daemon possesses the sinner.
Very well. Let us begin our holy work.
Alright, so I'm assuming this is us. How do we move around? Any tutorials? We just click. Alright. So that's the dude, Virgil. We just talked to him. You are Gideon. I think we might have double clicked there. You are Reuben. There's the murder. So let's check out this scene. The Mother Miriam's body, a valuable piece of physical evidence. A new entry is now added to your evidence panel, which can be found in the lower left of your display. There you can access detailed information about the Mother Miriam's body. That's a weird statement about the Mother Miriam's body. Like, I understand that that's a weird... Like, if it would have said the knife, we need to check out information about the knife, then maybe that would make sense, but... You must present them to the suspects in order to discover any contradictions. Mother Miriam's body, coronet remains. Body is completely unharmed, but her head has exploded into a mess of blood and bone fragments. Okay, and the coronet. Found near Mother Miriam's body, parts of the amplifier component and bits of the casing have survived the explosion. Newly appointed voice of Ainsoph, who was scheduled to receive an Aether coronet implant at the workshop. Alright, so that's that, right? So that's all we get to know? What is this button? Door controls. A new piece of evidence. Let's examine it now. Okay, thank you very much. Used to open and close the consecration chamber, only operable from outside the chamber. Usage records show that it was open twice this morning. Okay. Well, thank you. Control panel. Which is the control panel, but it's obviously like modeled after an organ, like a pipe organ. And by that I mean the keyboard that controls the pipe organ. Obviously these would be the pipes from said organ. Used to activate and control the consecration chamber, usage records show that Aether output during the ceremony was well beyond safe ranges. Okay. Well, I still don't understand your whole system of how the world works, but sure. Okay, so the only thing I can interact with are the things that are glowing, and that may just be because this is the first tutorial kind of mission. So the coronet limiter, found in Gideon's workspace in pristine condition, component is required to safely install the coronet without causing an Aether oversurge. So if it was in Gideon's workspace and it's needed to safely install the coronet, why was it here and not in the coronet, Gideon? Consecration ceremony. Place the coronet and the recipient in the chamber. The performer and the recipient pray in silence. Begin the song to start modulating the Aether. Intensify the Aether output by bringing the performance to a crescendo. Okay, so we have a recipient and we have the performer, and the performer, I'm assuming, is the one playing the song on the control panel. Want to get all the pieces we can before we actually talk to people. Reuben's workstation looks very messy, opposed to the other guy. What did we have there? Already recorded in the notes, sure. Plans for constructing the Aether coronet. The purpose of the device seems to be amplifying the user's Aether output. Components are amplifier, casing, and limiter. Spear blueprints found on Ruben's workstation. Plans for restoring a relic that was recently brought to Saint Walpurgis by Father Augustine. Okay. Was there something else over here? Ah. Was it gonna glow? It's not gonna glow. So there's things that don't shimmer that I can still interact with? What's this? The Devil's Herb. I knew something nefarious is afoot. The abbey must be purified by it of its scent. I should dispose of any that I find. The devil's herb, you say? Well, that's not in my stuff. So I don't know what the devil's herb is, but let me give a quick glance over all the stuff in the scene. Make sure I didn't miss anything that's potentially interactive. That's the word. Interactable. Okay, I think that's everything. I want to go back and talk to my Inquisitor friend here. Gideon claims that the incident was an accident, but Reuben claims that it's Gideon's fault. Are either of them telling the truth? Perhaps there's another possibility. Okay. So can I drag these? I cannot drag these. Okay, so let's talk to somebody. Let's talk to, are you Gideon? Yes. Gideon?
This is madness! I will not suffer this injustice!
Are you sure?
I am Gideon the Grand, the greatest cybernetician of our generation. I am blessed. I don't know what went wrong this morning. My hands are guided by the divine.
I see only gaudy trinkets here.
Oh.
Mother Miriam died by your hands. Is that not so?
I don't know why some of it's voiced. I wished it was all voiced. No. Why would I want to harm her? Mother Miriam was my patron. She loved me like a son. I did nothing wrong. The consecration chamber must have been compromised. Sister Ada is here to seek the truth, Gideon. You have nothing to fear if you are innocent. Please hear Gideon's testimony, Sister Ada, and judge for yourself if he speaks true. Testimony of a suspect is divided into events. You can access detailed descriptions of events by hovering over them. You can manipulate the timeline marker to navigate to any moment in the testimony. Alright, let's get to it. Let's listen to what Gideon has to say. Alright, so we play his thing. Then it looks like we also have the option to accuse, to contradict, and to just leave.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident.
Okay, and notice the limiter is not here on the desk, but we found it on the desk. Okay, so these two guys are having a talk.
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's Mother Miriam, not a guy.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the cornet's amplifier.
Wait a second. Let's re-examine what he said about Miriam's arrival. Okay, so you want me to back it up.
To prepare for the ceremony, Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so...
Interesting. Gideon does not mention Reuben being present while greeting Mother Miriam. Yeah, because he said Reuben came in later. Let's select Miriam's arrival and ask Gideon about it. So that's Miriam's arrival, which is unverified. Corroboration, no. Specificity, no. So if I click on it, I can ask. Good, I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any statement in a testimony. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? Yes, I was certain that I was alone then. He insists that he was alone. I wonder if Reuben will corroborate this. For now, let's finish hearing the rest of his testimony. Alright, so you guys had a chat. Then Reuben comes in.
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber.
You ordered him? Can I ask about this? Why have Reuben do this? Why not open the chamber yourself? I did not want Mother Miriam to have to wait too long. Besides, menial work is all Reuben is good for anyway. Aren't you the younger brother? And you're bossing around the older brother? Okay.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the cornet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
Yeah, I have a question about that, though. if we can see what happens to the limiter. Okay, you're working on the thing. Yeah, but hold on. What exactly did you modify? I modified the amplifier within to its maximum setting. To do so, I had to temporarily remove the limiter. Why did you want to modify it to its maximum setting? But I made sure to replace it before taking it to the chamber. No, you didn't. Contradict that, please. I don't have that option right now. Okay, so I don't have the option to do this right now. The game wants to kind of follow a path, so sure. Okay, so you put the coronet on Mother Miriam. Close the door.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Alright, I have a question though. You heard the door open? Perhaps. I think I heard footsteps. But it's faint, a vague memory, not to mention it's impossible. After all, Mother Miriam can't open the door from within. Reuben was probably working away on some new device or another. I must have imagined it. Okay, continue on, please, though. I mean, we do hear footsteps. We do see the door opens.
Then I activated the consecration chamber and began the ceremony itself. The aether output was within safe ranges.
I'm still hearing footsteps. So hold on. It's possible that in this situation, Reuben removed the limiter and then walked it over and put it. So Reuben could have done this. Or Gideon's just a liar. Oh, we see a body. We see a guy. Alright, let's have a question though. What makes you so certain that the ceremony was safe? Because I've performed this many times. Have you? I mean, she looks like her head's about to explode, so... Then it happened. Mother Miriam was killed, but it's impossible. I had everything under control. Hold on, wait a minute. Can I back up? Why did the...
Mother Miriam was killed, but it's impossible. I had everything under control.
The door opened on its own. That's kind of weird in this view. Okay, well that's you. I guess we want to talk to Ruben now and see what his side of the story is.
Surely there are no demons here, though. This was an accident, wasn't it?
Maybe.
If Gideon is possessed, that would mean he did it on purpose. Horrible.
You must be the elder brother.
I see. Your name?
Yes, my name is Ruben Garamond. I am responsible for the engineering and design of our implants.
How did Mother Miriam die, exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremonial guidelines for his own glory.
So you're just straight up, like accusing Gideon.
Gideon may be my flesh and blood, but he must take responsibility for his negligence.
Are you sure you're not deflecting your own guilt onto him? Let's hear what Reuben has to say. Keep in mind that Reuben's testimony may differ greatly from Gideon's versions of events. If an event is corroborated by another suspect's testimony, it will be marked as verified on the timeline. Okay, so where we saw corroboration no, or unverified corroboration specificity, so then we can track those down. Let's listen to what Ruben has to say. Okay.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something extravagant. Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous.
I can't pause.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway. Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
This part of the testimony is rather long and repetitive. Let's move ahead to the next section. Try to stop ceremony. So if I just click, I go right there. Is that what you're telling me, or I need to drag him? So I just need to drag. So here, you're just at your desk. And if I drop you off somewhere around here... Oh, you want me to click on the statement? Never
When
mind.
Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
Then the unthinkable happened. Mother Miriam was killed. This was no accident. It's all Gideon's fault, he says. I don't want to leave. I want to ask questions. I'm not leaving. Shut up.
Gideon, Mother Miriam came to us.
You and Gideon greeted Mother Miriam together? That's right. Mother Miriam is our patron, so I insisted on being present. Okay.
Gideon suggested
So you suggested that maybe he not explode her head, and he didn't heed your warning? Why not? Gideon believes that his so-called genius makes him impervious to danger. An ordinary man might fall, but not Gideon the Grand. As for Mother Miriam, she only has ears for Gideon. Today was no different. Okay. So now we know some things, like this is corroborated. The prayer happened. We know that you guys did in fact discuss the ceremony. Well, I don't know. Why is this verified? I don't know if he really did discuss the ceremony or not. That wasn't said by both parties. But we know Miriam did die. Everyone is correct on that. Okay, so let's just leave. Since you wanted me to leave. Now that we've heard the testimony from each suspect, let's think carefully. There's only one truth to the chain of events of this morning, and I doubt that either brother has told it to us. So we must rely on Einsoft's greatest gift to us, our minds. There are three ways we should consider what we've discovered. First is deduction. Since there can only be one truth, if two things don't align, one or both of them are false. If Gideon and Reuben do not agree on something, someone is lying. Or if what they say do not match the evidence I find, then they must be lying. Second is induction. I should base my theory based on what I discover. If my theory does not align with any of the testimonies or evidence I find, then I should disregard it. Or discard it. So, even if you have a theory, but it doesn't bear out to be true, you should ignore your own self and go with what you find. That makes sense. If two theories are both possible, then I should prefer the one that has more information that supports it. That said, induction alone is usually not enough. Finally, abduction. I must hypothesize. Okay, that's a strange word. What could have happened, filling gaps in information with my imagination. This is the fastest and most powerful way of thinking, but also the most fraught. I should engage in each of the three ways in order to uncover the truth. Alright, so now I have free reign now. Is that correct? Alright, let's go back and ask, talk to Gideon. Now that I've discovered important pieces of evidence, let's ask the suspect about them. Let's select any evidence and ask him about it. So yeah, let's ask him about the body. Sure, if you're pointing to the body, let's ask him about the body. The body is completely unharmed, but her head has exploded. Good, I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any evidence that I find. This was never supposed to happen. Mother Miriam, I'm so sorry. At least I can be comforted. that her death was painless. Well, hopefully, if your head explodes, it's painless. Why was the coronet exploded? My masterwork, it was perfectly fitted to Mother Miriam's brow. Even in pieces, you can see the sublime beauty of my artistry. But this can't be all you found. Where's the limiter? Limiter? There was a safety device? The aether limiter was supposed to protect the coronet from an oversurge. Additionally, it was the crown jewel of the coronet. I suppose it's shattered. Damnation. Oh, it's not shattered. It's right here, dude. Found in Gideon's workspace in pristine condition. Recognize this component, Gideon? It was found at your workstation. The coronet limiter? Impossible. With the explosion, how can it be undamaged? Someone must have removed it from the coronet prior to the ceremony, all but ensuring that the ceremony would end in a bloody mess. I had nothing to do with this. Why would I sabotage my own work? Why indeed? Okay, so I don't have options to accuse or contradict him yet. Let's just ask him about everything. These door access records showed the chamber was sealed during the ceremony. There you have it, proof the ceremony was performed flawlessly. Perhaps. What's curious is the door was opened twice. The first time was when Reuben opened the chamber to let Mother Miriam in. The second time was just before the ceremony started, when you closed your eyes and prayed for guidance. With the one true God as my witness, I swear that is the truth. I kneeled and listened for his voice. It must have been Reuben who opened it for some reason. He was always skittish about the slightest possibility of malfunction. How exactly do you operate the device, the control panel? Do you press the keys, much like a normal organ? That's a crude way to phrase it. There is much artistry in the performance. The rhythm and the melody of my music affect how the energy is transferred to the implant. Alright, let's ask you about the consecration ceremony itself. Consecration ceremony is meant to be glorious, beautiful. Reuben has always been devout, serious, and boring. We can't all be grand, I suppose. Consecration ceremony is meant to be glorious and beautiful. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know why you said that weird thing about your brother, but when I ask you about the blueprints, you probably don't know about them because they were not on your workstation. Is that Reuben's little chart? He sure loves making these things complicated. True art comes from the soul. Nothing in that mess of lines and wires expresses the beauty of the coronet. And what do you know about the spear? Oh, is that Reuben's little project? Whatever keeps him busy is fine by me. Okay, so you don't have anything. I can potentially ask you about some stuff.
Mother Miriam came to me to prepare for
I don't know, I've already asked you everything.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof.
Yeah, so I've already asked you all the things. So let's leave you. Let's go back and talk to Reuben. Pretty sure I've asked you about all of these things as well. Curious, Reuben claims he went back to his workstation. What does Gideon say? Let's switch to his testimony. Excuse me? Oh, you say you went back to your workstation. Gideon says that you put the lady in the chamber. So I can switch to yours.
To prepare for the...
Gideon claims that Reuben opened the door to the consecration chamber. Let's go back to Reuben. Okay.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway. Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
You said you went back to your tasks. Gideon says no, that you let the mother into the room. So now I can use the contradict button. And I want to contradict it with this evidence right here. Or this testimony. Lies unmasked, but who is lying? Ruben Garamond, you did not return to your workstation after the discussion. Gideon ordered you to open the consecration chamber for Mother Miriam. Ordered me, is that what he told you? Despite his delusions, Gideon is certainly not my master. I did open the chamber, it's true. I apologize for the omission. It's a regular part of our routine that it slipped my mind earlier. Okay, so your testimony changed. Reuben has amended his testimony, and he has like a weird halo above his head. Let's examine open chamber. Good. The statement from Reuben's testimony is now verified for 2 reasons. 1. Corroboration. Gideon's testimony confirms that Reuben opened the door for Mother Miriam. 2. Specificity. It has a shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. Okay, specificity like only this thing happened and just this thing. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. What's more, the contradiction weakened the suspect's resolve. His eye of providence, okay, that's why he has a halo. His eye of providence glows, which allows me to enter his sanctum, the digital representation of his mind. What? Let's use his third eye to enter his sanctum and see what truly motivates this suspect. I'm gonna enter his brain. Evidence discovered, believer. Okay. You want me to click on it? We only cracked the outer layer of his sanctum this time. Still, let's examine the psychological evidence that we found. Okay, so now we have another tab, psychological evidence. This information will help me discern which statements to trust. So he's a believer. We should assume that he's a believer. He's working in the sanctum here, whatever this place is. The abbot, not abbot, the whatever this thing is. Let's quickly examine each statement in his testimony again. Some of the statements are now supported by the suspect's psychology. Next, I must find correlations between the suspect's behavior and existing demons. Let's open the demonology. How deep is this game getting? Lucifer the Proud. The prince of demons and the eternal adversary of Einsoft manifests in the ambitious and strong-willed, promising them their heart's desire in exchange for their soul. Beelzebub the gluttonous, simple-minded daemon that debilitates the host, turning them into feral beasts. The host is compelled to consume stranger and filthier things until nothing remains of their humanity. Xanthus the vengeful, furious demon that stokes the simmering rage within the host, preys upon the fervent and the righteous. Maybe that's his belief, goading them to take matters into their own hands. Could be this Sathanus the vengeful here. Wotan the envious, playful but deceitful daemon. I keep wanting to say demon, but it's daemon in this instance, who slowly drives the host mad with whispers of their own inadequacy. The host blames others for their ill fortune until the apparent injustice drives them to take what is rightfully theirs. And that's it. So I'm feeling like it's Sathanus the vengeful here. The suspect is possessed. There should be a psychological evidence that is a clear correlation with the daemon. To further psychological evidence, I must find more contradictions and present them to the suspect. Now that I have heard the testimony and gathered evidence, I can accuse the suspect. To accuse the suspect, I must establish the opportunity, means, and motive of the crime. I can try as many times as I wish, but there is only one true answer for each section. Let us establish the opportunity. Let's present a section of the suspect's testimony. If you are accusing me of sabotage, when could I have done any of this? Okay, you could have done it while the prayer was happening. Oh, I can't click on Gideon's work. I have to click on your work. You did it while you were supposed to be back to work. Good. If it's a valid answer, the suspect will be forced to admit they could have committed the murder at that time. Otherwise, the suspect will give a counter-argument as to why that's impossible. If I was in the chamber then, Gideon or Mother Miriam would have seen me. What about when Gideon and Mother Miriam were praying? I was still working at that time. Do I have proof that he wasn't? If I do, I should contradict him with it first before accusing him. During the ceremony, no one was inside the chamber other than Mother Miriam. So he's like, no, I was working and you can't prove otherwise. You're accusing me of sabotage. Yeah. So we don't have that yet. Let's try to establish the means. My brother was responsible for this tragedy, not me, he says. Well, the means was the limiter was removed. For this, I need to present physical evidence. Gideon was the one that operated the device. How could I have affected the chamber or Mother Miriam? The limiter? Good. Same as before, the suspect will accept my evidence if it is valid, and deny it if they can explain why I'm wrong. There was nothing faulty with the coronet itself. Indeed, the craftsmanship was flawless, as was Gideon's performance of the ceremony. But you removed the limiter from the coronet without Gideon's knowledge, which, coupled with the coronet's high amplification, caused an oversurge. Gideon's arrogance may have endangered Mother Miriam, but you were the one that did it, and why was because you hate your brother. Finally, let's establish the motive. I need to present a psychological evidence from their own sanctum. Mother Miriam was our patron. Why would I want to harm her? Ah, you want to harm her because you feel like she is not righteous enough. She's not the true believer or something. So I need to present this. Found in Reuben's sanctum, faithful servant of Ein Sof, or so he thinks, he knows that cybernetics are crucial or critical part of the one truth. Good, if he's the culprit, then presented with the correct motive, the daemon within him will compel him to speak the truth. If not, he will deny my claim. Your faith is what drove you to kill Mother Miriam. Why would you think so? If anything, my faith is the proof that I would not have hurt a priestess. Mother Miriam was our patron. Why would I want to harm her? So I don't have that evidence yet. The accusation was unsuccessful, which means I must investigate further. Let's cancel this for now and leave the suspect. Alright. I do have some things that I want to talk to him about. But for now, so we are saving. For now, I think this is probably a good time to end the episode. So, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time for more Lucifer Within Us.